video. Please like, subscribe, comment and share and do all the other stuff. Quick little video while I've got the two machines together. Which one would you buy? Which one do I prefer? Operating on site and maintenance. Yeah, they're pretty much, they're similar machines. Obviously they're not. They're similar in lifting capacity. I think the Avant lifts 50 kilos more than the skidster. And yeah, I've got a set of pallet forks over there for it, for the skid steer. It's got the log grab on because that's what it had on before Christmas. Obviously it's my machine, it's in its working clothes. It got used right up till, well, what, 22nd was its last day, so I haven't had a chance to wash it off. I've just changed the oil on it, serviced it, so it wants grease up and a wash. You've probably seen in the previous video last weekend what we did with that, what we did with the Avant. I'll let you go back and watch that and you'll find out what we did with it. So I thought, while I've got the two together and before we take the Avant back, we'll do a little walk round, bit of a comparison, what I like about both of them, what I don't like, and we'll go from there. Right, so obviously my machine is a jump on, stand on machine, which obviously you just step up and your controls are here, forward and reverse, backwards for reverse, forwards, and then steering as well. Lever there, arm up, arm down, same to corral the bucket, and then you've got your auxiliary here, which is okay. I'd have preferred if it was here, so you could literally just drop the arm down and then flick the lever for the auxiliary instead of having to get everything in the grab, push it down and then lean down, and because you can't even reach it when you stood up, you've got to lean down to get to it. It's also quite annoying if you driving back and forth and you nudge it. I mean, you don't nudge it very often, but you can do. Yeah, Briggs and Stratton engine. I bought this with a Honda GX39. Bought it as spares and repairs. The little aluminium slash rubber cog for the pump had sheared its teeth off, so it wasn't driving, so it'd just been chucked in the corner of the yard. I suppose for somebody to fix another day, or somebody to work out what was wrong with it. I'll include a picture in this video of how I found it. We managed to get the Honda engine going, but I think it was a bit of a standing seizure. I think somebody had a go at starting it before and weren't successful, but managed to damage something in the engine. So it worked. I think it did a day's work for me, but it was very hard to start. Once you did get it going, it was very, very lumpy. So yeah, I decided to put this engine on it. I think it was about 780 quid. So it had a new engine, had a new gear, and I thought, while I'm at it, I'll stick a new pump on it. So it's had a new pump, new worm gear, drive gear, whatever you call it, new engine, new pilot filter, hydraulic filter. It had new tyres, because the tyres that we got, they were all flat, none of them really held air. They were rag tyres, they were knackered. I wanted grass tyres because obviously we were going to be going back and forth on customers' gardens, grass and stuff. So we put grass tyres. That was a nightmare trying to find tyres for this, because at the time it was lockdown and couldn't get tyres for love nor money. There were 7 or 8 places, couldn't get them, and then when I tried to get them fitted, 2 garages couldn't do them. One did one and gave up. Luckily I managed to find a brand new set from their BKT tyres from, where were they from? It was a Farrell's, I think, on eBay. Managed to get a set of 4, and our local garage managed to fit them for me. So yeah, that is pretty much this machine. I've got a grab for it. Anybody that knows these machines knows attachments are very, very rare for these. I think the Sherpa are the same now, same attachments, but they are very expensive. So I wanted a log grab ever since I bought it. I'll show you the attachments it came with in a minute, and I've sold a couple of attachments and made one. Yeah, so I bought this frame. Luckily somebody was selling it on, because they got a Facebook page for these skidsters. Somebody was selling a framework on there, and then the grab is actually off a little timber trailer. Somebody was selling that on eBay, so I bought the two. I think we paid, the bloke wanted 300 quid for the framework, but he wanted one of these back plates, and I'd got one of these back plates that I'd made up, so we did 150 for the frame, and he knocked 150 off for the back plate because he wanted the back plate for his. I think I paid 400 for the grab, and then obviously the bit of pipes. I like to weld these on. Still, it's not quite as perfect as I'd like it. These pipe management, because it's rubbing on there, look. And these, I can't lift the arm all the way up as high as I can because these are too short. So one of these winter projects, is to extend these pipes down to here, weld a bit of bracket on here so I can have the fittings sat there, and then we've got full articulation then to tip it forward and up to extend them out. It was a bit of a rush job, to be fair. I needed the skid steer on site with the grab, so it was quick, buy this, buy that, and we'll just make it up and do, and we'll make it suit and work properly when we've got time. It's been like that for a year and a half now, so that is our next project. I'll quickly show you the attachments that we've got for it. So originally it came with this land leveler, which I use for moving materials around. I've never actually used it for leveling land. It came with a bucket, and I've made this tow ball attachment for it, which is really handy for trailers and chipper and everything else. It come with a tooth bucket as well, which I've sold the tooth bucket because we've never used it. It came with a two-prong ripper, it was pretty much the headstock with just two tong rippers. Never used that. I had a go with it, and the machine's just not heavy enough for the ripper, so it just you dug the ripper into the ground and it just sat there and spun. You might have got a bit more grip with ag tyres on, but it never really worked, so I sold that. They sold instantly. You put them on eBay or on Facebook and bang, they're gone. Now this, I've been searching for 2 years since I've had that machine now, maybe even 3. I could not find a set of pallet forks. The bloke told me when I bought the skid steer that it came with a set of pallet forks, but it never did. And I've asked him, oh yeah, I'll find them. We never did anyway. Luckily, a good friend of mine, James Hayes, Machinery Nation, or Find It, Fix It, Farm It, he's on YouTube, both of them channels. He bought a skid steer as a job lot, and it came with a load of attachments. And as soon as I saw that video, I was on messaging James. I want them pallet forks. I need the pallet forks. He said, oh, I might have sold them to somebody else. I thought, bollocks, I've missed them. I kept on at him, and I managed to pick them up. I had to go down to Devon, I think, where he lives, and pick them up. I think it was 450 quid. But to be fair, I'd have paid anything for these, because it's such a handy bit of kit now for around the yard, moving pallets. Like, all the track boards are over there. I can just go pick them up, put them on the trailer. Even out on site. I think it did come with a tow ball, but he must have nicked the tow ball because it didn't come with it. He did a bit of painting with it. The only thing I do find with these pallet forks is they don't tilt back enough, which I might show you in a minute. I'll take the grab off and put it on it, but that's enough of that. So now let's move to the Avant. Nice little loader. This isn't mine, this is a customer's machine. He watches the channel, and he agreed for me to do a bit of videoing on it. So previous video last weekend, go back and check that, you'll find out what we did with it. And he said you can do a bit of a comparison if I want to, and use it around the yard, which I have done. I took it out on site. It moved a couple of bags for me. These bags here, actually. these few bags of rubbish. Half ton of sand. It lifted, no problem at all, which I was quite surprised about. Got it on the trailer and got it back to site, got it back to the yard. Nice, decent set of pallet forks on it. Obviously on ag tyres. Again, it's a petrol engine. This is a V-twin this time. Kohler Command Pro 20 horsepower. Again, look back at last weekend's video and it will show you what we did with it. Petrol tank, obviously petrol tank on this one. The only thing I find with this, it's not as good, because when you're out on site, you can just jump on it, move around, jump off, cut a bit, jump back on. Where this one, you've got to sit. You've got to get on, your leg on, slide in, and then obviously you've got your seat, which is all right. All your control arms are here, and I find this hydraulic spool's better. Obviously this hasn't got a grab with it, I've only got bucket and the forks. It's a nice machine, it's a bit weird to steer. I've never really used one of these before. Steering's on there, and it sort of sticks its back end out and steers. It's a manoeuvrable machine, and it does a good job, but then getting off, again, it's just a bit of a pain. Changing attachments, nice and easy. Lift the pin up either side, drop it off. Same with mine. Just slide the pin out, in and out there, drop them off. Hydraulic fittings, I do like their idea of hydraulics. That's you lift that down, connect it up, push it in, and then lift it up and it locks the hydraulics in, and then you just press the button, press and hold to release. I think that's a good idea. Obviously this has all got work lights, so two there, two on the back. I haven't got any work lights on this. This is another job I've got to do. I've got to make a front grille as well, because it never came with the front grille, and bits of twigs and crap get in there and it's just going to end up damaged and something. So that's another project, is move these hydraulic lines, front grille and some work lights. Obviously this has got a tow bar on it. Mine has got a tow bar, but you have to change the attachment. Yeah, obviously it's got a bit of a cab, but it's a bit of a cab. It doesn't really do much. If you're going to get wet, you're going to get wet on either machine. I did find that the water seems to collect in this cab, and as you're moving the machine around, it drips all down your arm and everywhere, so not a fan of that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I did find with the Avant is when you've got the bucket on, it doesn't lift up high enough to load my truck, so it's pretty much useless for what I want. Not the machine for me. I'm sure the bigger models will do, obviously, but the skid steer I think is the machine for me. That you chuck a bucket on it, it'll lift up as high as that top bar on the truck, and it'll load it really well. You can fill a bucket up full. This struggles when you've got the bucket on. You can only just about half fill the bucket because the hydraulics just cut out. It won't fill a bucket full. And you go into the pile, it just sits, and you lift it up slowly like you would a big machine, like a big wheeled loader, because I've run big loaders and little loaders, obviously, and just sits there and spins and won't fill the bucket full. So I think this is a nice machine for the customer, and for probably small holding bits and bobs like that. But I don't know what it'd be like with a log grab on. It might be alright, but it's not the machine for me. I much prefer the skidster. It's nice and easy. Again, you can just chuck it on the plant trailer, and away we go. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, I've said quite a bit in the other previous video on the Avant, and yeah, this is my machine. She's a good old gal. I think I've waffled on enough now. Let me know in the comments which you would choose. I think they've both got their place, but for me, the skid steer is the one. I think I've just it's the first time I've ever used an Avant. I suppose if I used a bigger one, it'd be more handy for me, but this little machine isn't for me. It'll do the job for somebody. The customer likes it, so that's the main thing. But yeah, I've decided that it's not for me, as I've just said about 20 times. Yeah, it's a nice little machine. It's only done 127 hours or 124. When it loads, 127.5. Look, it's a 2018 machine. Mine is a I can find it. It's in there. Look, I don't actually know how old it is. It doesn't say. It hasn't got a date on it. I don't know how many hours it's done because that clock has never worked. I think it's been damaged at some point. So I don't know how many hours it's done, but obviously the engine pump, everything else is new. Oh, and the other thing I did do was replace drive chains inside here, and the tensioner I did either side. It had brand new drive chains when I changed the wheels. But yeah, that's about it. Again, like I said earlier in the video, let us know which one you would prefer, which one you'd choose. I'm not sure what they're like on price wise. I would imagine the Avant is a lot more expensive than the skidster. I think the Sherpa equivalent is about 14 grand, I think. I don't know what these were new. You can't really find much out about them online. But I would imagine they probably weren't far off that. And then obviously you've got to buy all the attachments as well. I think I had a quote from Sherpa for 5 grand for a log grab. It was a bit much for me, so we made one. Yeah. So there's a nice little video of me waffling on about these two machines and attachments we've got. Hope you like this video. Please comment and like and share, and let me know your thoughts on either machine. Let me know if you own one of these machines and what you think, or if you'd like one or whatever else. And thanks for watching. Really appreciate it.